Well, hello there. Sion Batson here from Sion Batson Tutoring, and in this video, I will be teaching you how to find the slope of a line using 2 points. A very important concept for 8th grade students, high school students, GED students, and college students. So let us go. Now, the slope is a numerical value that tells us how steep a line is. So if you ever want to determine how steep a line is, you will have to find the slope for that line. To find the slope of a line, you can use any 2 points that are on that line. Once you have chosen your 2 points, you will first find the rise, which is the vertical distance between the 2 points, or the change in the y-coordinates. To find the change in the y-coordinates, we will subtract the y-coordinates from the 2 points that we have chosen. y2 will be the y-coordinate of the second point, and y1 will be the y-coordinate of the first point. So far, so good? Perfect. Now, once we have the change in the y-coordinates, we will divide the change in the y-coordinates by the run, which is the horizontal distance between the 2 points, or the change in the x-coordinates. To find the change in the x-coordinates, we will subtract the x-coordinates from the 2 points that we have chosen. x2 will be the x-coordinate of the second point, and x1 will be the x-coordinate of the first point. How are you feeling so far? Great. So, in a nutshell, to find the slope of a line using 2 points, we will divide the change in the y-coordinates by the change in the x-coordinates. And again, to find the change in the y-coordinates, we will subtract the y-coordinates from the 2 points that we have chosen. And to find the change in the x-coordinates, we will subtract the x-coordinates of the 2 points that we have chosen. How are you feeling? It's very simple stuff. It's very straightforward stuff. Now, if you look at my board here, you will see that I have 2 formulas for the slope. So let's talk about them. Take a walk with me. Take a walk with me. The very first thing I want you to know is that both formulas will give you the same answer. Yes? Secondly, the second thing I want you to see is that in both formulas, the change in the y-coordinates is in the numerator or at the top. And the change in the x-coordinates is in the denominator or at the bottom for both formulas. So far, so good? All right. Now, the last thing I want to tell you is that for the change in the y-coordinates in the first formula, I use y2 minus y1. And to find the change in the x-coordinates in the first formula, I use x2 minus x1. In the second formula, to find the change in the y-coordinates, I use y1 minus y2. And to find the change in the x-coordinates, I use x1 minus x2. This is what is very important here. If you begin with 2 in the numerator, you must begin with 2 in the denominator. Or if you begin with 1 in the numerator, you must begin with 1 in the denominator. Again, both formulas will give you the same answer, but you must put the coordinates in the correct order. So far, so good? How are you feeling? We're gonna have some fun. Now, in this video, we will use the first formula to find the slope. We will use y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Yes? Now, let's get the party started. For the first example here, we want to find the slope of a line using point A and point B. Yes, the coordinates for point A are 1 and 1. The coordinates for point B are 4 and 3. The very first thing we are going to do is label the coordinates of each point. Yes? Remember, each point has an x coordinate and a y coordinate. Yes? An x coordinate and a y coordinate. The coordinates of the first point will be our 1's. So we have x1, y1. And the coordinates of the second point will be our 2's. We have x2, y2. Now that we have labeled the coordinates for each point, now we can put the coordinates into the formula. Yes? Let's go. y2 is 3. Then we will put back our subtraction sign. y1 is 1. Yes? Always start with the numerator, or always start with the change in the y coordinates. Yes? Now, let's come to the denominator. x2 is 4. Put back your subtraction sign. Always put back your subtraction sign or after putting the first coordinate. And x1 will be 1, yes? Now we can subtract. 3 minus 1 will give us 2. And 4 minus 1 will give us 3. So the change in the y coordinates is 2. And the change in the x coordinates is 3. So our slope is 2 over 3, or 2/3. Now, you don't want to write your slope as a decimal. We're going to always leave it either as a whole number or as a fraction. So our slope here is 2 over 3. Now, let's put our points on the coordinate plane and see what the slope here is really telling us. Yes? So for the first point, we have 1 and 1. So 1 and 1 will be right here. And the second point, we have 4 and 3. 4 and 3 will be right here. And if we were to draw a line, let's draw a line. I hope you guys like my ruler. Just to give you an idea of what's happening. Yes? If we draw our line, look what's happening right here. The vertical change, or the change in the y coordinates from right here to here, it is 2. Yes? And the change in the x coordinates, which would be from right here to right here, is 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes? Or we can go 1, 2. So our rise is 2. See that? The vertical change. And the run, or the change in the x coordinates, is 3. So if you look at our line here, it's pretty decent. It's not too steep. Yes? It's not too steep, which makes sense because the change in the y coordinates and the change in the x coordinates are almost the same. Yes? Just a 1 unit difference in the change. The change in the y coordinates is 2. Change in the x-coordinates is 3. So our line isn't that steep, right? Pretty decent. So our final answer here for the slope is 2 over 3. Yes? How are you feeling? It's very simple stuff. It's very straightforward stuff. It's fun stuff. Fun stuff. Come on. Give me some energy. It is fun stuff. Now, one more thing I want to say. Since the slope here is positive, yes, our line is going up. Whenever the slope is positive, your line will always go upwards. See that? It's very fun stuff. It's very exciting stuff. All right, let us keep the party going. Oh man, this is fun stuff. Now quickly, very quick, if you guys are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. Welcome. And thank you for joining us. Thank you. Now, kindly click on the subscribe button and turn your notifications on so that you can be notified every time I post a fun, exciting, and easy to follow math lesson. Yes? Thank you. Now, let us keep the party going. Let's change the coordinates here. We're going to keep A and B. But let's change the coordinates. Yes, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have a good time here. All right. Let's try -1, -4, 1, and 2. Yes? All right. So again, we want to find the slope of a line using our points A and point B. The coordinates for point A are -1 and -4, and the coordinates of point B are 1 and 2. The very first thing we are going to do is label the coordinates for each point. Remember again, each point has 2 coordinates, yes? An x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. An x-coordinate and a y-coordinate. Yes? The coordinates for the first point will be our 1s. So we have x1, y1. And the coordinates for the second point will be our 2s. x2, y2. Now that we have labeled the coordinates for each point, we're going to put the coordinates into the formula. Let's go. So we'll first work with the numerator, or we will first find the change in the y-coordinates. y2 is 2. After you put the first coordinate, you always put back a subtraction sign, then put the second coordinate. Never forget that. y1 is -4. Now, let's work with the change in the x-coordinates. x2 is 1. Put back a subtraction sign. x1 is -1. So far, so good? This is fun stuff. Exciting stuff. Now, what I want you to see here is that in the numerator, we have 2 signs that are next to each other. And in the denominator, we have 2 signs that are next to each other as well. Remember the rule. Whenever you are adding or subtracting integers, and there are 2 signs next to each other, you can combine those signs. Yes? If you need to review how to add and subtract integers, I got you. I did 2 very detailed step-by-step lessons that will help you master the skill of adding and subtracting integers. If you need to review how to add and subtract integers, go watch those 2 videos, please, then come back and join us. Yes? All right, but let's continue. So again, since we have 2 signs next to each other here, we can combine them. Because again, whenever we are adding or subtracting integers, we can combine two signs that are next to each other. If we combine a negative sign and a negative sign, we will get a positive sign. So we can rewrite the numerator as 2 plus 4. And in the denominator, again, since these two signs are next to each other, we can combine them. If we combine a negative sign and a negative sign, we will get a positive sign. So we can rewrite the denominator as 1 plus 1. Yes? Now, let's simplify. 2 plus 4 will give us 6. And 1 plus 1 will give us 2. So our slope here is 6 over 2. Or, you always check to see after finding a slope, after finding the change in the y coordinates and the change in the x coordinates. Once you get a fraction, you always check to see if you can write that fraction in its simplest form. Yes? Here we can, because 6 divided by 2 is 3. So our slope is 3. To make it more sense, or to make more sense out of it, I should say, you can also write this as 3 over 1. So you can remember that this is the 3 represents the change in the y coordinates, and the 1 represents the change in the x coordinates. 3 over 1 is the same as 3, or 3 divided by 1 is the same as 3. Yes? Now, let's plot our points on the coordinate plane and make sense of our slope. Yes? Let's see what 6 over 2 means. Let's see what 3 means. Yes? So we're going to first plot -1 and -4. So -1 and -4 is right here. Yeah, let's call it A. Yes? And 1 and 2 will be right here. Now, let's connect the points. Excuse my ruler. Don't you guys dare make fun of my ruler. Ah, look at this line. So again, if we were to examine the change in the y coordinates, let's go up a vertical line here. The change in the y coordinates is 6. Or the vertical distance between the 2 points is 6 units. Or our rise is 6 units. And the run is 1, 2. Just 2 units. Yes? So this is a pretty steep line. And it makes sense that it's steep, because look what's happening here. The rise is what? 3 times the run. Yes? So it makes perfect sense for it to be very steep. And again, I also want you to see that since the slope is positive, the line is going up. Are you getting the idea? Are you getting the visual? Yes, yes. So don't forget that you can write your slope as 6 over 2. You wouldn't be wrong. But we always want to simplify our fraction. So we'll leave the slope, 6 over 2. We'll write it as 3. But remember, this 3 means 3 over 1. Because we need a rise or we need a run. Never forget, whenever your slope is just a whole number or just an integer, you can put a 1 under the whole number so that you can have your rise and your run. 3 divided by 1 is 3. How are you feeling, my friends? Come on, man. I'm having fun. I'm taking my time because I want to make sure that you guys grasp this concept pretty well. Yes, I want you to master this concept. So when you get your slope problems in school, you would be like, come on, I know how to do slope. This is fun stuff. This is easy stuff. All right. You guys are following so far? You guys think you are mastering the concept? Yes? You guys are mastering the concept? Let's fix our coordinate plane here. Yes, let's just make it as neat as possible. This is our 0 here. Looks good. Yeah, all right, good. Good. Listen, we're having fun. How are you doing, John? How are you doing, Samantha? How are you doing, Jaden? I see an Annalise. I see a Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. I see a Christopher. How are you guys doing? I see a Natalie right there. I see a Tia right there. How are you guys doing? There is Daisy over there. We're having fun. Come on. This is fun stuff. I need you guys to give me some energy, man. You guys are just... I know you guys are. I know right now somebody is... Come on. Let's pump it up. All right. Let's keep the party going. We're having fun here. I want to make sure you guys master the concept, yes? All right. Let's try 3 and 2 and negative 2 and 3. Ah, I like this one here. Woo! I know you guys are saying, Sion, when are we going to get our chance to shine? You guys will get your chance to shine. I have a few examples to work to make sure I cover all the points, and I need to cover everything you guys need to know to master this concept. So have some patience. You will get your chance to shine. All right. So again, we want to find the slope of a line using our 2 points, point A and point B. The very first thing we are going to do is label the coordinates for each point. Remember again, each point has 2 coordinates, an x coordinate and a y coordinate. An x coordinate and a y coordinate. Now, the coordinates of the first point will be our 1s. x1, y1. Go step by step. Go step by step. The coordinates of the second point will be our 2s. x2, y2. Now that we have labeled the coordinates of each point, we can plug or put the coordinates into the formula. We'll first work with the change in the y coordinates. y2 is 3. Put back your subtraction sign, then put the second coordinate. y1 is 2. Yes? Now, let's come down to the denominator and work on the change in the x coordinates. Yes? x2 is negative 2. Put back your subtraction sign, then put x1, which is 3. Yes? How are you feeling so far? So far, so good? Now, let's work. 3 minus 2 will give us 1. And minus 2 minus 3 will give me minus 5. Remember again, whenever you're adding or subtracting integers, once the sign in front of the integers are the same, you must add. After adding, you must keep the sign that's in front of the bigger integer. So here we have 1 over negative 5, or we'll write this as negative 1 over 5. We'll move the negative sign to the middle of the slope, or to the middle of the fraction, because this negative sign in the denominator makes the entire slope negative. Yes? So far, so good. Now, let's put our 2 points on the coordinate plane and make some sense of what the slope is really telling us. So we'll first plot point A, which is 3 and 2. All right, so 3 and 2 will be right here. That's point A. And point B is negative 2 and 3. Ooh, negative 2 and 3, which is right here. So let's see what's happening here. My rule is trying to give me some trouble here. All right, well, we have our line. We have it. Yes, we have A, we have B. So look at our line here. If you find the rise or the change in the y coordinates, the rise is just 1 unit. 1 unit, yes? Because it's just one jump between the 2 points, vertically. Yes? And the run is how many units? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the run is 5. Or the change in the y coordinates is just 1 unit, and the change in the x coordinates, 5. If you look at our line here, you will see that it's pretty flat. Yes, it's not too steep. Again, which makes sense because in this example, the run is significantly greater than the rise. The run is actually 5 times the rise. Yes? And I also want you to see here that since our slope is negative, what happens? The line is going down. So when the slope is positive, the line goes up. When the slope is negative, the line comes down. Yes? You can go up, you can come down. So far we have learned that our slope can be positive or it can be negative. How are we feeling so far? Are you feeling good? All right, we have a few more examples to work here. Yes? We have a few more examples to work. So let's get to work. I hope you guys are having fun with me here. This is fun stuff. This is exciting stuff. Let's clear the coordinate plane. And I don't want you guys talking about my ruler either. Samantha and Jaden and Tia, don't you guys dare laugh at my ruler. Okay? All right, now, let's keep it going. Let's try. -3, 1, and 5 and 1. So again, we want to find the slope of a line using our points A and B. Yes? So the very first thing we are going to do is label the coordinates of each point. Remember, like always, each point has 2 coordinates, an x coordinate and a y coordinate. Yes? An x coordinate and a y coordinate. The coordinates from the first point will be our 1s. We have x1, y1. And the coordinates of the second point will be our 2s, x2, y2. Now we are going to put our coordinates into the formula. But never rush the problem. Label the coordinates first. Yes? Then put the coordinates into the formula. Yes? Let's work with the change in the y coordinates first. y2 is 1. Put back your subtraction sign. y1 is 1 as well. Now let's go to that change in the x coordinates. x2 is 5. Put back your subtraction sign. Always put back your subtraction sign before you put the second coordinate. x1 is -3. So far, so good. In the denominator, we have 2 signs that are next to each other. Remember the old rule. Whenever adding and subtracting integers, if 2 signs are next to each other, we can combine them. If we combine this negative sign and this negative sign, we will get a positive sign. So let's rewrite our problem. We'll have 1 minus 1 over 5 plus 3. Yes? Let's simplify. 1 minus 1 will give us 0. 5 plus 3 will give us 8. Whoa! 0 divided by 8 is 0! 0 divided by 8 is 0. So our slope is 0. What does that mean though? There is no slope. What does that mean? The slope is 0. What does a slope of 0 mean? Well, let us plot our 2 points on the coordinate plane here and see what the slope is really telling us. We're going to plot point A first. Point A is what? Negative 3 and 1. So negative 3 and 1 is right here. This is A. And B is 5 and 1. 5 and 1 is right here. Ooh. So if I connect my 2 points, this is B. Again, you guys do not laugh or talk about my ruler. Okay? I want you guys home there talking about, come on, Sion. That's the best ruler you got? What do you notice about our line? It is horizontal. See that? Which makes sense because the 0 in the numerator tells us that there is no rise. Right? Remember, the change in the y coordinates is also known as the rise. Yes? The change in the y coordinates is 0, meaning there is no change. At every point, the y coordinate will be the same value. Here, the y coordinate is 1 for point A, and for point B, the y coordinate is also 1. See that? So the y coordinates or the y coordinate did not change. That is why the line is horizontal. Yes? So whenever your slope is 0, it simply means that there is no run. Sorry, there is no rise. Yes? There is no rise. There is no rise. Sorry. Means there is no rise because there is no change in the y coordinates. How are you feeling? So whenever your slope is 0, you will always have that horizontal line. Yes? All right. Now, so far you guys have seen that your slope can be 0. Your slope can be negative. Your slope can be positive. Do we have any more options for the slope? Well, let's see. Let us see if we have any more options. Do you think we have any more options? My camera woman is saying, yes, she's a genius. She is a genius, you know? All right. Again here now, we want to find the slope of a line using our 2 points here, point A and point B. So the very first thing we will do again is label the coordinates of each point. Remember, each point has 2 coordinates, an x coordinate and a y coordinate. An x coordinate and a y coordinate. The coordinates for the first point will be our 1s. x1, y1. And the coordinates of the second point will be our 2s. x2, y2. Now we are going to put our coordinates into the formula. y2 is 6. Put your subtraction sign. y1 is 2. Now, let's work with the change in the x coordinates. x2 is 4. Put back your subtraction sign. x1 is 4 as well. Now, let's simplify. 6 minus 2 will give us 4. And 4 minus 4 will give us 0. Ooh. Now, what is 4 divided by 0? Well, we cannot divide by 0. So, if we cannot divide by 0, then there's no way I can tell you what the slope is, because I'm not allowed to divide by 0. Yes? So, since I cannot divide by 0, I'm unable to find the slope. I can't tell you what the slope is. So, since I'm unable to find the slope, our slope is undefined. Undefined simply means we don't know what it is. And we don't know what it is because we cannot divide by 0, so we are stuck. Yes? Now, let us plot our 2 points on the graph here, on the coordinate grid, and see what this slope, this undefined slope, is really telling us. Our first point here is point A, 4 and 2, which is right here. That's point A. And point B is 4 and 6, which is right here. Yeah. This is B. I'm going to draw my line. Don't you guys talk about my ruler. I can hear you guys talking something there about my ruler. Let's put it, make sure it's right here. What do you notice about the line? It is a vertical line, which makes sense, right? It's vertical because there is no run. The change in the x coordinates, which is also the run, is 0. There is no run, so it's just going to keep rising forever. Yes? So whenever your slope is undefined, you'll always have a vertical line. And again, an undefined slope simply means we cannot determine what the slope is because we cannot divide by 0. Yes? So you've learned that your slope can be positive, your slope can be negative, the slope can be 0, and the slope can also be undefined. Yes? All right. And when the slope is undefined, you will have a vertical line. Yes? And if you realize quickly, there is no change in the x coordinates. Again, the x coordinate at this point is 4. And the x coordinate at point B is also 4. It stays 4. There's no change. Undefined slope. Yes? This is fun stuff. All right. Now, I know you guys are saying, Sion, come on. You have to give us a chance to shine. Well, guess what time it is? Ooh, yeah. Guess what time it is? I need you guys to get pumped up for me now. I need you guys to get pumped up. Pumped up. Come on. It's your turn to shine. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get it. It's your turn to shine. Come on. It's your turn to shine. You know I have to sing my song, of course. And you guys don't be hating on my song either. Sing my song. And you guys might be saying, hey, Sion, I'm not singing that song. That's our fun song. It's your turn to shine. Come on. It's your turn to shine. All right. So you're going to try this problem on your own. Yes? You're going to pause the video. Go step by step. You're going to label the coordinates of each point first. Then put the coordinates into the formula and find the slope. If you need to, you can go back and watch the previous examples. But I want you to try this problem on your own. Yes? Give it a try, then come back and let's see if we get the same answer. I believe in you. You got this. Come on. All right. Welcome back. How are you feeling right now? If you're feeling good, give me a high five. Boom. 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 Come on. Come on. Yeah. I love it. So again, we want to find the slope here. I have to bring it down, yes? We want to find the slope using point A and point B. So the very first thing we are going to do is, very good, label the coordinates of each point. And again, each point has 2 coordinates, yes? An x coordinate and a y coordinate. An x coordinate and a y coordinate. Yes? And the coordinates from the first point will be our 1s. The coordinates from the second point will be our 2s. Now that we have successfully labeled the coordinates of each point, we will put the coordinates into the formula. We'll work with the change in the y coordinates first. y2 is 5, I put my 5, and then I put back my subtraction sign. Always put back the subtraction sign before you put the second coordinate. y1 is -2. Let's come down now to the change in the x coordinates. x2 is -1. Put back my subtraction sign. And x1 is 1. So far, so good. Did you put the coordinates correctly into the formula? Good job! I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. If you look in the numerator, we have two signs that are next to each other. So to make life easier, we are going to combine those two signs. Because whenever you are adding or subtracting integers, you can combine two signs that are next to each other. Yes? If we combine a negative sign and a negative sign, we will get a positive. Let's get some positive vibes. So let's rewrite what we have. We have end up with 5 plus 2. Yes? And -1, -1. So far, so good. I hope you guys are going step by step, just as how I'm going step by step. Now let's simplify. 5 plus 2 is 7. And -1 minus 1 is -2. Because again, whenever we are adding and subtracting integers, if the signs in front of the integers are the same, we will add. After adding, we always keep the sign that's in front of the bigger integer. Well, they're both 1, so we keep either negative sign. Doesn't matter. So the answer is 7 over -2, or -7 over 2. You're going to bring up this negative sign and put it in the middle of the fraction, because this negative sign in the denominator makes the entire slope negative. So our final answer for the slope is -7 over 2. Yes? Can we get a visual to see exactly what the slope is saying here? Let's do it. So let's plot our points. The first point A is 1 and -2. 1 and -2 will be right here. That's A. And B is -1 and 5. -1 and 5 is some -1 somewhere here. Yes? Now, let us connect our points. Don't you talk about my ruler, John. Don't you talk about my ruler, Travis. No, you guys are there saying, Sion, man. You gotta do better than that. Ah, look at our line. A couple things are happening here. Yes? First, let's examine the change in the y coordinates. And then we'll examine the change in the x coordinates. Do you see how long or how big this change is in the y coordinates? It is 7. Because if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 units. Yes? And the change in the x is only 2. 1, 2. So first you can see the line is very steep. Which makes sense, right? Because it's rising. Well, it's rise or falling since it's going down. It's falling 7 units, but you're only going across 2. So it's very steep. Yes? No one wants to climb this with a bag of sand on their backs. That would be a very steep climb, a very tough climb, yes? And also I want you to see that since the slope is negative, the line is going down. Yes? How are you feeling? Come on, tell me the truth. You're feeling super. I know. If you got -7 over 2, give yourselves a big pat on the shoulder. Yeah, I can see the smile on your faces. You guys are feeling yourselves, and I love it. I love the confidence. Yeah, I love it. I love the confidence. Let's clean up our coordinate plane here. I love the confidence. I love it. I love it. All right, now we're going to do one more. Yes, let's do one more. Can we do one more? Yes. Let's do one more. I know someone is saying, one more please, Sion. I think Mr. Uriel is saying one more, please, Sion. Mr. Josh is saying, can we do one more, Sion? I got you. I got you, my friend. Let's do -3, -4, and -2, -2. Oh, look at that one. Again, I want you to try this one on your own. Pause the video, give it a try, then come back and let's see if we get the same answer. Yes, I believe in you. You got this. Come on. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. I can see you smiling. I can see the confidence just glowing off your faces. And I love it. I love it. It simply means you guys have mastered the concept. Now, let's work the problem just to make sure we all got the same answer. So again, we want to find the slope of a line using our 2 points, A and point B. The very first thing we are going to do is label the coordinates of each point. Remember, each point has 2 coordinates, an x coordinate and a y coordinate. An x coordinate and a y coordinate. Yes? The coordinates from the first point will be our 1s. And the coordinates from the second point will be our 2s. Step by step. Now we will put our coordinates into the formula. Let's work with the change in the y coordinates first, yes? y2 is -2. Put back a -2. Then put the subtraction sign. Always put the subtraction sign before you put the second coordinate. y1 is -4. Now let's come down to the change in the x coordinates. x2 is -2. Put back your subtraction sign. x1 is -3. Ooh, spicy stuff. Very, very spicy stuff. What do you see? That we have 2 signs next to each other in the numerator and 2 signs next to each other in the denominator as well. Whenever 2 signs are next to each other, yes, we can combine them once we are adding and subtracting integers, yes? Whenever you are adding and subtracting integers and you have 2 signs next to each other, you can combine those signs. So let's combine and make life easier. If we combine a negative and a negative, we will get a positive. So let's write back our numerator first. We're left with -2 plus 4. And in the denominator, if we combine a negative and a negative, we will get a positive. So we're left with -2 plus 3. I hope you guys went step by step. Now, let's simplify. -2 plus 4 is 2. Positive 2. Because remember, whenever we're adding and subtracting integers, and the signs in front of the integers are different, we are going to subtract. After subtracting, you always keep the sign that's in front of the bigger integer. Now let's come down to the denominator. -2 plus 3 is positive 1. Again, whenever adding or subtracting integers and the signs in front of the integers are different, you subtract, then keep the sign that's in front of the bigger integer. Yes? So our slope is 2 over 1. The change in the y coordinates is 2. The change in the x coordinates is 1. So we can, slope is 2 over 1 or 2, because 2 over 1 is the same as 2. Yes? Did you get it? Listen, man, come on. I'm pumped. Come on. I know you guys were gonna come through for me. Now, quickly, let's put it on the graph, on the coordinate plane here, to see what the slope is really telling us. So we're gonna put our first point A, which is -3, -4, -3, -4, somewhere right here. Yes, that's point A. And B is -2, -2, somewhere right here. So let's connect, let's put a B. Let's connect our points here. And let's talk about it. You see what's happening here? First, our line is pretty steep, yeah? Steep. Why? Because the change in the y coordinates is 2 times the change in the x coordinates, yes? So, of course, if the rise, which is the change in the y coordinates, is 2 times the run, or the change in the x coordinates, we should expect a pretty steep line. Also, I want you to see that the line is going up. Why? Because the slope is positive. How are you feeling? I know you guys have mastered the concept, yes? Give yourselves a big pat on the shoulder for getting this correct. I'm loving it. I really hope you guys enjoyed my math video. I really hope you'll find this lesson helpful and useful, yes? Until next time, enjoy your math homework and your math practice. See you.